Folks, welcome into sportsbookreview.com. It is Friday, it's payday, and it's time to talk some Major League Baseball League Championship Series. Last night, you saw the Los Angeles Dodgers with an exciting 2-1 victory over the Giants, propelling them into the NL League Series versus the Atlanta Braves. Now tonight, fresh up on deck here, the Boston Red Sox and the Houston Astros in the ALCS. Welcome in, as I said. One game on the card today. We're going to have some fun breaking it all down. But let's talk about last night before we even get started. I'm Donnie RightSide along with Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. We are the sportsbookreview.com Major League Baseball team. Great game, great series. What did we expect from two teams that won 105-plus games in the regular season? Game 5 comes down to the 9th inning, and Mookie Betts goes 4 for 4 in this game. Great performance on the mound from Webb. Great performances from the starting pitchers, the openers, the middle relievers. Max Scherzer as a closer. Throw everything out the window in Game 5s and Game 7s here. Tremendous stuff, Jason, from last night.
Yeah, look, Kyle said that Mookie Betts should have a great game.
Oof.
He pointed out that Mookie Betts is that guy that needs to produce in these games, in these spots, and he has previously in all of the games, elimination games or whatnot. And while he didn't hit a homer, he did really well, and Kyle did call that. So major props to you there. But obviously really happy today's game is 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. With that extra inning rule not in play anymore with the guy in second base, us East Coast guys are like, should we stay up for the 8th? Should we stay up for the 9th in a tie game? Then you don't know, because then if it goes to the 10th and 11th, by the time the game could finish, it might be 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're screwed for the rest of the day on Friday. Of course, didn't happen. Bellinger got the job done. But us East Coasters in our head, we're thinking, should we stay up? Should we not? That's the one thing the MLB has really struggled with is obviously the time of play and all that good stuff, especially in the postseason. But we got it through 9 innings. That was great, and obviously a really fun game.
Yeah, Kyle, when I rolled over in the morning and saw that the Dodgers had won, I was like, all right, here we go. On to the next series.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully get that nice sweep of the Atlanta Braves, right? I mean, that's what we're rooting for here. Look, it was an interesting game. We got the no runs first inning. That was sort of our play. We got that early, so that was nice. Posey got the 1.5 bases, so that was nice. The Giants didn't win. We were sort of leaning Giants, but we said it. This is probably going to be 1-1, 2-1 late in the game, and it's going to come down to the last inning. That's exactly what happened. Of course, Major League Baseball crapped on themselves again. He did not break his wrist. That was not a strike 3 by Wilmer Flores. I watched that live. He just comes in with all the confidence in the world. They can replay it, but of course, baseball, they only want to use replay when it takes 14 hours to see if a ball goes, it touches a yellow line or a fan touched it. But when you want to get it right, and probably the most important game of the year, they can't get it out of their own way and they get it wrong, which is so baseball. But hey, it's championship series time. The light at the end of the tunnel is near. We're about to have the 2 final teams. Looking forward to this game tonight. I like the American League series. I like both these series. I think we're going to see more runs in these series than we maybe did in those divisional series. So I like some of that here. Looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, the application of instant replay seems so simple. Like, you saw the thing, and I always joke around to both of you, and even like anybody I talk to, like the umpires, they must be sitting in front of a 65-inch, 70-inch screen at home in HD. We can all see it. They can't see it on the field. It's baffling stuff. How about last night, the interception in the Eagles game, which ended up being a punt anyway, but the Eagles get an interception. It was so close. You're supposed to have 60 seconds under the lid to actually look at that play.
Believe that.
Yeah, exactly. 6 full minutes, and they overturned the call. That wasn't a big call in the game, not really. But we look at home and say, yeah, you can't overturn that. And somehow we look at giant HD monitors in our house, and then the referee for the game, he looks at this. Oh, man, what is that right? Yeah, I can't. Why are they doing that? Why is this not a call from the league office with massive TV screens in 4K to review this guy?
They're supposed to be doing that, the whole expediting replay thing where they're not forcing like the Quez Watkins catch on the sideline where they're like, hey, they can just expedite that from the thing, call in. They make him waste a challenge. It takes them way too long to figure this out. You can see it clear as day on the damn screen. I don't understand the replay stuff. You want technology, you want to get things right, but these guys can't get anything right, even when they review it. It's maddening, and honestly, it's just tough to watch. It makes you just want to turn the damn thing off, honestly.
Yeah, and also, it's interesting too, Jason. I want to get your point of view before we dip into this Boston game here. It's very easy to correct check swing. Oh, it's subjective. You can line 2 cameras up in Major League ballparks from each side of the plate to get the perfect angle. And I'm not saying review every check swing on a strike, but a strike 3 should be able to be reviewed. So if the umpire rings them up, all you got to do is turn around to your, first base coach or whoever's in the dugout that picks up the horn and hey, check out this review. Oh, you know what? He didn't go on that. Let's review that real quick. Why is it so hard here? And why is it just because the umpires say, oh, we're the end all be all? A guy like 90 feet away is making that call in a split second? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, look, obviously it's all discretion. That's kind of how a lot of things are in sports, right? Pass interference, whatnot. I mean, they tried to, use flags for that and obviously take it back or whatever they tried to do. That didn't work out. So, I mean, sports, it's all discretion. Obviously, balls and strikes, discretion. Everything about every sport is discretion. So it's so hard to make any call for an umpire or for us, watching the game. Obviously, we get to watch that in slow motion. They get to watch it in full time. They don't get to watch it again when they make the call as well. So it's obviously really hard for anyone to make that call, especially in real time when you don't have a replay in slow motion on your big TV. But at the end of the day, yeah, you would like to get the call right. And I wish that they were able to do that. And there's a way that you probably can, maybe finding how you get that first down marker or the line of scrimmage marker.
Yeah.
If you had a line to where if the bat goes, over that line, it's a swing, and if not, but you just never know. So it's obviously discretion. It's hard. The umpires do the best that they can do. They probably get killed more than they should because nobody realizes that actually, it's in real time. They don't have slow motion the next at bat or for the replay. So it's hard. But I wish that play went back, and obviously it was a ball.
Let me address this real quick in the chat box too. I don't know what this peyote this guy's smoking. First of all, no one's crying about it. We're just saying baseball needs to get it right. Dude is 0-18 and max on an 0-2 count. You don't know if he's going to get a base hit or not. Who the hell do you have a crystal ball?
And there's a guy in first base too.
Yeah,
so.
It's not even the point.
Talking
it doesn't
about?
matter. He might have struck out on the next pitch. It doesn't matter.
Do me a favor, engage your brain first. Use some fucking common sense and then talk. That kind of shit pisses me off. Good Lord. All right, now I've got it out. Let's talk to Red Sox.
No, but we can use these as teaching moments because the same guy had a comment. What happened, Donnie? Why would you bet against a team you have to win a World Series? Never doubt the Dodgers. Now, here's the difference between when people do this for a living and some people have some fun. When you bet future wagers in Major League Baseball, you have to compartmentalize those. That's like me. I actually have a future on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl and the Buffalo Bills. I will bet against the Buffalo Bills every single time I think I have an advantage and say, well, why would you do that? Or let's just say you have a team total on the Buffalo Bills to win, 11 and a half games, and you think they're going to lose a game. That's not counterproductive to bet against them on that day. If there is value on that day, compartmentalize those future wagers you have as if you don't even have those until the end of the year when it makes sense. When do you bring those back into play? When you get into the playoffs. So if I take a look and I have a $100 wager on a plus $500 ticket on the Dodgers, and I bet $100 yesterday saying that the San Francisco Giants were the better team and they would win, well, I just cut in a little bit into my profit, but at the same time, if the Dodgers, who I thought were going to lose last night, lost the game, technically I would get my money back on that actual futures wager. If you're betting based on your heart, last night the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Oh my goodness, I can't say. Now they ended up covering the game, but you guys know me from NFL shows. I've repeatedly bashed the Eagles and bet the hell out of team totals against the Eagles if it makes sense. You can't take your fandom into play, and you can't take what you bet in the preseason here because I hope they don't lose this game. Even though I think they are going to lose this game, I won't bet it. That's nonsense here. We're here to make money. We're here to teach people the correct way to gamble, and that's my thoughts on that here. So why don't we get into the Red Sox and Astros game this evening tonight? It's a really good one here. Now, Kyle, your sentiment is right. I think we finally get runs, and it's much more fun to cap runs than it is to say, well, let's just take an under because theoretically, if you're looking at unders, hitter parlays don't work so well, RBI props don't work so well, extra bases don't work so well. I think we do get some runs tonight. So let's take a look and set this game up here for a Friday night. This game due to start at 8:07 p.m. Sale and Valdez, both lefties on the mound in this one. 8.5 across the board, which might as well be 14.5 from what we've been seeing the past couple nights here in Major League Baseball. 144, 145 as a favorite towards the Houston Astros. Jason, we'll start with you first in this game. I just don't trust Chris Sale, which is crazy, right? Who doesn't trust Chris Sale? One of the better pitchers over the past decade in Major League Baseball. He's a lefty. There's good right-handed bats. The last time I saw Chris Sale, he was getting lit up. There's a chance in this game in a small ballpark that, he gets lit up. But also, a pet peeve of mine. It's October. It's Houston. The roof is closed. What is wrong with you Houston fans? You can't sit outside in 70-degree weather anymore? Go ahead, Jason. What do you got?
So, look, both lefties haven't been great as of late. Right, we go back to Valdez last start, 4.1 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs. He did get 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, and had 9 ground balls. Now, I will say Valdez has been incredible getting ground balls, right? 76.9% of ground balls in the last 97 batters or plate appearances. So, Yeah, I mean, that's really good, right? If you're getting 77% of ground balls in those 97 plate appearances, you're more than likely going to be able to win that game for your team. Of course, line drive rate, 9.6%, the xFIP, 3.34. So Valdez, despite allowing 4 runs in that start against the White Sox, he's been pretty good as of late. But then you have the Red Sox, right? Their offense against lefties, 32.7% ground balls against lefties in the last 30 days. You got 3 guys that have some power from the right side. You have Martinez, you have Renfroe, and you have Dalbec. All those 3 guys have potential. In the last 30 days, they've hit lefties pretty well. And then, Hernandez has 1 home run against Valdez. But outside that, there's nothing, phenomenal when you look at the Red Sox. They don't strike out very often, which is huge. But if they do hit into a couple ground balls, that will be troubling. And then, of course, Valdez is walking 9.3% of the batters. The top 3 batters, they're walking at a solid rate. The bottom, 6 batters of the lineup, they're all walking 7.4% or less. So if those guys can't, be disciplined and walk, they're likely going to hit a ground balls because they're not striking out either. So it might be some quick, easy outs for Valdez in this game. Then you go to Sale. Of course, Sale, his last start was really dreadful, right? 1 inning, 4 hits, 5 runs, 2 strikeouts, 3 ground balls, 2 fly balls, 1 home run and a walk. Looked horrible in that game against the Rays, but still in his last 30 days has an xFIP of 3.84 and then striking out 26.7% of the batters. He has been awful against righties though, 379 weighted OBA and ISO of 244. But then you go and you look at this lineup for the Astros, only Jose Altuve has really been consistent against lefties from the right-handed side. You do have Myers, who has a 250 ISO. Not sure if he'll play or not. He's still injured from that little play in center field, so we don't know if the lineup's out yet or if he'll play. But the only one guy, Altuve, is the one righty that can do some damage against Sale. So I don't think there's going to be many runs in this game. I think it will be a low-scoring affair. But if there's going to be runs, of course, I do think Altuve will be involved in this game and to help score those runs.
Yeah, and I guess the theory for 2021 Major League Baseball is usually in the regular season, you put a lot of stock in the starting pitcher, not so much in the playoffs anymore. So if you're going to say, hey, Chris Sale is probably going to go, 4 innings in this one? It's amazing that you talk this way about your front-end starters and you don't want them going more than 4 innings. And even if they have no base runners and they get into the 4th inning and put 2 guys on, they come right out of the game in the playoffs. It's pretty interesting to watch. Another thing interesting to watch, Kyle, is about the 5th inning. It's going to be mid-70s with no rain in the forecast in Houston, but that's really hot, and they need AC down there, Kyle.
Yeah, good Lord. I wish I was treated. God, I mean, so this game's interesting, right? I do think there are runs. I think both these pitchers are beatable. We saw Valdez sort of get lit up by the White Sox in that first-round series, went 4 innings, gave up 4 earned runs. He did have a couple of good starts earlier in the year against Boston. Actually had back-to-back starts against them and only allowed 1 run in each of those contests going into the 7th inning. But I like both teams' team totals here at BetMGM over 3.5. You can get the Astros at -155. You can get the Red Sox at -120. I do think there's runs here. Both pitches are hittable. When you go to the Astros side, you talk about the lefty Sale. So you've got all the righties. Altuve has been very good, 10 for 31 in his career, 3 home runs, a double. But you also talk about Yordan Alvarez. When you get that power lefty in the Astros lineup, who is twice as good against lefties than he is against righties, that's just another boon to that lineup as well. So I do think we get runs from both teams. I like both teams' team total over 3.5 at -120. I also took the Jose Altuve over 1.5 bases at +130. I think that makes a lot of sense today as well. He's, of all the hitters on the card, he and Bregman profile against the opposing pitcher better than anyone else in terms of their history versus them, etc. Both teams should be able to get to 4 runs tonight. I sort of lean the over. God, can we get rid of the spam bot? Who back there can get rid of the spam bot in the chat box here? I don't even know. Okay, very, very good. Good Lord. Everyone just blocked that guy. Kind of a dirtball. But yeah, I like both teams to get over 3.5. It's juiced up for Houston at -155 at BetMGM. It's a decent number for the Red Sox at -120. I think we see runs tonight. Not in love with either of these pitchers. And another thing, keep an eye on the Houston rotation. They're not going to have Lance McCullers for this series. That's a big loss for them. He has been their best pitcher. They bring up the odorific Jake Odorizzi, so it'll be interesting how they use their bullpen. Will they use some of these starters as long relievers if someone gets in trouble? How desperate are they? Because their rotation's a little bit, it's lighter now without Lance McCullers there, so they're going to have to do some different things as well.
Yeah, and also coming down the stretch, Sale wasn't that good in September as is, and he's going to face some good right-handed pitchers. I also think there's going to be some runs in this ball game. Let's slide it down to the value menu wagers on the card today. I have a couple, so I'll give one right now. But probably my favorite play on the card, I do have a two-man hitter parlay that I'm going to go over in just a few moments here. But I'm going to take the Astros team total over 3.5 minus 155. I just don't trust Chris Sale at this moment. And again, keep in mind, both the weather series, you like it as well. You take a look, let's just say, at the last, the ALDS. The NLDS, where you had the Dodgers, good pitching staff, big ballpark. You had San Francisco, good pitching staff, big ballpark. This is almost the complete opposite. This is as low rung a pitching performance that you're going to get from two teams in one series, and also two of the tiniest ballparks in Major League Baseball. So keep that up there. So keep that in your mind. I mean, Astros team total over 3.5 minus 155 at BetMGM. I think they can get the 4 runs tonight. Sale, what's he going? Again, Sale's maximum. If Sale is really good tonight, 4 1/3, 5 1/3 innings, then you'll be able to get after that bullpen. If it's a close game, you might get extra innings. So not a lot of runs here to get the 4. I'll pay it down with the juice for 3.5 minus 155 at BetMGM. Where are you going tonight, Jason, on this wager?
Yes, like I was talking about earlier, I love Altuve in this spot. Kyle obviously on it with me, so that's really great. Altuve, 438 ISO, 493 weighted OBA, striking out just 5.9% of the time and walking 0% of the time in his last 17 plate appearances against lefties. He's got some good numbers against Sale, over a 300 average, has a couple extra base hits, 8 of 24 against him. So there's some success there as well for Altuve. And of course, he'll be at the top of the order. He'll get as many plate appearances as the Astros can get him. And then of course they are also home. And so if they are cheating, we're in great position there for Altuve to get a hit or two in that one as well. But I'm taking the bases because Altuve, he hasn't walked a single time in 17 at bats. So of course, if you take bases, walks don't count. So I'm not worried about the walks because Altuve is very aggressive at the plate against lefties. So I think he can get extra base hit, can get a couple singles, should get the job done, and that will be really fun there if we can cash that Altuve ticket.
Yep, there we go. Joe Chris says roof closed, always closed. Imagine if the taxpayers, and they told you, we're going to need an extra $250 million for this roof. And then years later, they're like, we're never going to open this bad boy. Somebody get in there and sue the Houston Astros for negligence. Baseball in a dome in Houston, I'll keep railing on that for the rest of the year because the simple fact is it's great because even becoming, Kyle, like in COVID, right, in a pandemic, so to speak, if you have a chance to open your roof when it's nice out and you don't open it. So I don't know. Not believing in science there, Kyle. Go ahead.
You can't sit next to somebody on an airplane. Or no, you can sit next to somebody on an airplane. You can touch shoulder to shoulder, but you can't take a drink while the flight attendant walks by. You have to wait to remove your mask because that makes so much damn sense. And you're right. We're packing in, 50, 60,000 people.
Yep.
And they say it's harder to transmit it in the open air. You know what we're going to do? We're going to close the damn roof tonight. Sometimes it's like Kyrie Irving.
Why did they build a roof though? Like I don't understand. Like why is there a roof in Houston? Are you saying because every 5 years a hurricane comes through, so one game we need a roof? What am I missing here?
The common sense is completely gone. It's like it sort of came full circle for me yesterday when Kyrie Irving says, "I am not pro or anti-vaccination, yet you refuse to get vaccinated. I'm going to cough up $17 million. If you're giving up $17 million because you don't want to get a shot, I got to think you're anti-vax. Where's the common sense? Shut the hell up. Use your damn brains, people. If you're going to give us a rule for this, can it at least make some semblance of sense? I don't know. It drives me absolutely insane. I just don't get it. Value menu. Let me get back on track here. I agree with Donnie. I love that Astros team total over 3.5 minus 155. And I agree with Jason. I also like the Jose Altuve over 1.5 bases at plus 130. Those are a couple of value menu wagers, and I'll save the other one for the best bets on the board.
Yeah, again, it's hot. I mean, how hot could it be at night anyway? What's the point is that's why they play baseball in the summer. It's in the summer. It's meant to be played in warm weather so you can get some fresh air and watch a baseball game. I'll never understand it, but I guess you just fleece people. We need a retractable roof. Why do you need a retractable roof? If you played every day at 1 o'clock in Houston during the summer, okay, I understand. But last time I checked, 90% of your games start at night. I don't know. I'll never understand it, but I guess it is what it is at this point here. Sabino says also, what's the reason behind the roof being closed? Laziness, I'm going to say. And is it because they won home runs? Like if you are a Houston Astros batter, you should be beating down the doors of your front office going, I would like to get paid more. Open the roof. I'll hit 5 more home runs in this little tin can over a summer if you open the roof. it makes no sense. Playing a baseball game in a dome have you seen the roof open down there? It is beautiful. It's right in the middle of the city. What a gorgeous environment, and they cover it up. The same thing in Miami when they go down and play a baseball game, and that mausoleum, that library they have down there. That is a retractable roof for what? Oh, when it rains. So you close the roof. It takes like 3 minutes to open it. Oh, short rain. Close it. Second inning. Back open. Oh, what a beautiful night out here. I don't know. Maybe it's just you fleece the people and it's a Ponzi scheme where you say we need an extra $200 million and we're going to build this fake roof that never opens. Who knows? But it is what it is. Yeah. And we'll certainly keep you posted on when that roof gets open. I don't know, sometime in March or April of next year. Odds boosted section. I lost my odds boost last night because LaStella only got one at bat last night. Come on, man. Played a whole game in Game 5. What are you doing over there? But anyway, I do have Schwarber and Alvarez tonight. Either one of those guys to hit a home run at plus 150. Now, you can't, it's a $20 bet, which max return of $50. So I don't love this bet. So if I lose $20 on it, so be it. But I have to come to the table with something to watch. Schwarber and Alvarez. Either one of those guys to hit at least one home run. That boosted up to plus 150 at Fox Bet. I'll go to you, Jason. What are you on tonight on odds bet?
Well, that's funny because FanDuel has that same
170,
exact wager. 170.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
I'm looking at it right now.
Well, no, but that's what I was going to be on. But it's on FanDuel at plus 170, boosted from plus 130. So, yeah, of course, obviously go out and shop around. I do think that Alvarez does have a good shot at hitting home run against lefty and Sale. Alvarez 261 ISO, weighted OBA 348. He does walk 17.9% of the time in the last 30 days off of 28 plate appearances. But we talk about this all the time. Alvarez is better against lefties. And then Schwarber, on the other hand, he's just as good as a home run hitter against lefties. He actually has the 411 weighted OBA, but ISO sitting at 150. Although, again, he doesn't strike out very often, so you just never know if he can hit one out in the small ballpark there in Houston. So both these guys hit home run. I like it. I'm with Donnie on this one. Boosted at plus 170 on FanDuel.
Yes, and Jefferson C says Olympic Stadium, Montreal. That was a horrendous money pit that I think they're still paying off even though nobody's actually there.
Yeah.
That roof is absolutely hilarious. But I'm just a firm believer of, sports are supposed to be played in the elements. That's why I get a kick out of the Northeast football teams like the Giants, the Eagles, the Jets, the Patriots, the Washington football team, Pittsburgh. I love the fact in the Buffalo Bills you could play outdoors. I just think it's pretty funny when you have like teams like the Arizona Cardinals in a dome in perfect weather down there. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's just me where you want to play and just interesting. And I'm not going to the game. It's 80 degrees. I want to be in the air conditioning. I don't know. Maybe it is here. What do you got tonight? Odds boost, Kyle.
I'm right here on FanDuel as well. I'm going to say total runs in the game over 7.5. As I mentioned, I like both teams' team total at 3.5 and the Red Sox to win. I mean, are the Astros probably the better team? Sure, but is it out of the question for the Red Sox to win tonight? It's not. So I'll take the over 7.5 runs and the Red Sox to win. That's boosted up to plus 330 over at FanDuel. Short and sweet. Again, don't go crazy on that. We're talking about a team having to win a postseason game against probably a better baseball team. These are all good teams now. So if you're out there running around going, oh, this money line is a lock tonight, well, you're a fool. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're absolutely insane. It's a 50-50 game, pretty 50-50 game, I would say. Red Sox have a shot, so I'll take that plus 330 and hope that they get to 8 runs tonight.
Yep, also. And by the way, I'm going to keep on ripping on roofs. Like, why do people want to move to L.A. and California? Because it's perfect weather every day. Both football teams play in the same building in a roof. Oh, but because of the weather, I watched a lightning delay in a dome in L.A. So don't give me the weather and you can't play through that type of stuff. Kyle, here's what's next. You know what's coming here? San Diego is going to get a football team, and they're going to build a dome in San Diego. When you can, the best weather on the planet is in San Diego, and they're like, we need a dome on that one. But it is what it is at this point. Bets on the Major League Baseball board. I like this hitter parlay. It's a cheap one here. It's 2 players. It's minus 114. I got it just before the show here at FanDuel. Jose Altuve to get 1 base hit. Kyle Schwarber to get 1 base hit. If they get 3 or 4 base hits apiece, that is fine. They just need 1 base hit a piece. That's at minus 114. I played that for $100, so it's $114 risk to win $100. I'll be cheering that on tonight. I think it's very doable for me. We're anticipating a guy in Jose Altuve leading off. Kyle Schwarber probably batting in either the leadoff hole or the 2 hole. They're going to get a lot of at-bats tonight. I just need 1 base hit out of each one of those guys at minus 114. I'm going to roll with that, Jason. What do you got tonight?
Yes, I'll go with Altuve over 1.5 total bases at plus 120. And, of course, I'll do that odds boost Schwarber or Alvarez to hit a homer at plus 170 on FanDuel.
Kyle, what do you got tonight?
I'm going to take that. I'll just throw the other team total on here. The Red Sox over 3.5 minus 120. I do think both teams can get to 4 runs tonight, and I think that's a reasonable expectation. And again, I like that Altuve over 1.5 bases. That's plus 130 over at BetMGM, for those of you who are wondering. So me and Jason are probably just looking at different books there, but I do like him to get a couple bases off of hits tonight. And like I said, that Red Sox team total over 3.5 minus 120. That's also at BetMGM.
All right. Also, Jefferson C. putting vinegar on his fries today.
Disgusting.
Check that out, Kyle. So he's ready on a Friday to get after today. All right. How about this? Let's clear the bases and get out of here today on a quick and action-packed Friday show. But as always, we like to let the people know exactly what we're digging on tonight. Astros team total over 3.5 minus 155 at BetMGM. My hit parlay, Altuve and Schwarber each to get at least one base hit apiece. That's at minus 114. And then my bad odds boost here at Fox Bet. It goes to show you where I usually lean, because I don't even look at FanDuel for the odds boost on baseball, and you actually have a better price at the 170 if you want to take that. But I only bet $20 on that one, which was a max on Fox Bet here. And that's Schwarber or Alvarez to hit a home run today, plus 150. Jason, what are you on today, just to let the people know?
Yeah, it's obviously sketchy now that two books have the same odds boost at different prices. So we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, just Altuve over 1.5 total bases at plus 120, plus 130, whatever you guys find. At plus money, I love it there for Altuve. Obviously, batting leadoff in this game should get the job done there. So that's my only bet of the day.
All right, Kyle, what are you on today?
We're going to do the Astros team total over 3.5, the Red Sox team total over 3.5. I like them both. 155 for Houston, 120 for Boston. The Altuve hit prop, which we've mentioned at nauseum, over 1.5 bases at plus 120, plus 130, depending on where you're shopping at. Odds boost, game total over 7.5, and Red Sox to win at plus 330. Just a light sprinkle on that. And someone asked the home run list. I did put Alex Bregman on there, 413 in his career with a home run. I think Bregman profiles nicely. He could hit one out tonight as well. So I did a little sprinkle on the Alex Bregman home run prop.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you for joining us here on a Friday. As Friday is always payday. Big weekend this weekend. Good Major League Baseball action. Good NCAA action on Saturday. NFL action on Sunday. So thanks, guys, for tuning in once again today. 90,800 people have hit that subscribe button. Close to 91,000. So thank you guys for doing that. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do so. Turn your notification bells on. But that'll do it for the Friday. Another action-packed week here on the Major League Baseball show. We will be returning back on Monday when we were deep into the League Championship Series. I'm Donnie RightSide for Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. We are the sportsbookreview.com Major League Baseball team. Today was your Friday show, and as always, good luck on those wagers this weekend.